Hi everyone, and I am so happy to be back here. I haven't been on YouTube in a minute, so I am really excited about today. Today we're going to be doing some drawing. I'm going to be doing some line drawing today, and hopefully that you join along with me. This is going to be pretty fun, so stay tuned, and we'll be doing a couple of these throughout the day. And let me go ahead and see if this link button works, and I'm going to put a link to my website, and hopefully you guys, this is a link to the I'm going to enter it in the chat. I don't know if that's going to work later, but I'm just going to put it there. Go ahead and click that if you need to later to get a hold of me. If you want to reach out to me or send me a message, that would be great. So let's go ahead and get started. If you need any drawing materials, any pencils or pens, go ahead and do that now. And I'm just going to get started right now with this first image. And these are just images that I found on the internet. You can do the same whenever you're referencing drawing. Just so I use whatever images that you find that look interesting to you. They're just for practice. So whatever you use from it, just don't feel like there's, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Let me see. There we go. So yeah, you can just use any images that you find as a reference, as long as it's like a photograph and you're making your drawing off of it. Your drawing is going to be an original piece. Even though that the original photograph is copyrighted to someone else, your drawing is going to be your original piece. Always reference, if you can, photographs. I mean, it's good to practice from other people's art sometimes, but if you really want to practice getting and getting like better at your details and all that stuff, I would definitely recommend that you draw from photography or from actual life. But usually at the zoo, let's be honest, the lions are always sleeping during zoo hours, so it's a lot easier to find photographs of them. So let's go ahead, and we're going to do a couple of 5-minute poses. So I'm going to go ahead and, all right, let's see. Oh, I missed a phone call. So here is my clock. Let's put a timer on. 5 minutes. Okay, so let's go. Here we go. And I'm just gonna use a regular, let's see. It almost looks like a charcoal pencil, but I like to use in Photoshop. So I'm gonna be drawing digital, but you can draw using whatever you like, really. Let's see at 14 points how that is. So I'm just gonna like look at the basic shape of him first. I'm really excited to be in here. If you can't tell, I'm probably talking really fast. Sorry if I'm talking too fast or getting a little jumbled in my words at first, but like, I'm just really glad to be here. Again, it's been like a couple of weeks, I think, but I definitely would like to post some more stuff pretty soon. So let's see what we can get done for today. And I've been kind of drawing all day. I've been drawing all week, really. But really, I wanted to get in some realism with lines because I'm planning on doing a painting, and I wanted to do some prep sketches and kind of get a feel. I mean, even though if you've been following me on Instagram or on Facebook, then you already know I've been doing a project for a little over a year now called 1,000 Lines for Kenya, and the whole project is a lot of drawings, illustrations, and character designs of lions and all different types of settings and all different types of themes. And really the whole purpose of me doing it is to raise money and awareness of for charities in Kenya. So the one that I'm working with right now is Child Fund Kenya, which I'm selling prints of these, not these particular drawings, but all of the character designs and illustrations. I'm selling them on my website, and those part of the proceeds go to the charities, which because they fund children with medical care and clean water and educational supplies, and it's just really awesome thing, and it's been really, really important to me that you are able to simply to check that out. Or if you just want to draw with me today, that's totally awesome too. So I'm just glad for you to be here. So thank you for coming and joining me and drawing with me today. I'm gonna make my pencil a little bit smaller. Let's see. So, gosh, all of a sudden I'm getting all these phone calls. It's like happens like that. Right? What is that called? I don't know what you would call that, but like every time, like this whole morning, I was just sitting here like nobody was telling me. Everything was fine, and now all of a sudden my phone is ringing like crazy. So we've got about a minute and a half left. So I'm going to use that to kind of clean up some of the areas where I'm seeing I want to add some more. 5 minutes isn't enough to get like really detailed, but it's enough to get your idea across. And that's what we want to do. We don't have to get like super detailed yet. We just want to be able to practice and feel kind of loose with it, and feel really loose with it, preferably because that's the way you're really going to learn. And then you'll see like once you have a whole collection of drawings, of quick drawings, like which ones that you want to take to the next step, which ones that you want to actually move on ahead to like color and like even more detail and things like that. I'm watching a show on Netflix now called Haters Back Off. It's a really funny show on Netflix. If you've never seen it, I would recommend it. It always reminds me of me in some way. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't look like that when I'm recording on YouTube, but I can't help it. Like, look at it and laugh and say, oh my gosh, maybe that's how I sound sometimes. Like Miranda sings. I'm not a singer, but still. Okay, that goes our first 5 minutes. So we're going to move ahead to our next pose or image. Ooh, this one's kind of serious looking, huh? He's like really grimacing kind of looking. It's like kind of like don't mess with me kind of a face. So what I did there, I'm just changing the scale a little bit so we can see it a little better. There you go. And we're going to start a 5 minute pose starting right now. So let's go ahead. And what I wanted to show you too is a new illustration that I'm working on. It's I'm getting back into Christmas themes and holiday themes as we're getting back into that time of year. So I am working on some more holiday triple type of illustrations through the same going on along the same line of A Thousand Lines for Kenya. So this one I'm doing now is one of the Nutcracker Suite, which was one of my favorite I don't know what you call it, a ballet or an opera. It's a ballet. It was one of my favorite ballets as a kid, and I don't get to see a whole lot. I know that when I was little, but I really remember seeing that one. The other one I really remember seeing is I think I was going to say the same thing. The Swan Princess, is that the same one? I'm not sure. I hope not. Oh gosh, I hope I'm not sounding like really like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm talking about. No, I'm not that well versed with plays and ballets, but I really remember the Nutcracker Suite and I really remember the Swan Princess. And I'm not sure if it's the same thing. I think it is the same thing. I don't know. So we got a couple of minutes left on this one. How much time do we got? 3 minutes. Wow. So you still have a lot of time to do a lot more detail, so that's a good thing. Sometimes too, when you're getting, it's good to practice with the hair, but when you're first starting out, I know when I first started out sketching lines, I looked up a lot of references of the lioness before I started drawing the males because you really need to see what's going on underneath all that hair, and you can't really get the anatomy um, with the males as good like you can get it with the female lions. So we're doing, I think, mostly males, maybe all males today. But if you want to continue practice sketching lions on your own, then I would definitely recommend that you start with the females because that way it's a lot easier to see. Um, the way the neck curves and the way the jawline goes because the hair of the male covers so much. But the male and the female, they're shaped the same way. I mean, the male is bigger, but their neck line and everything is shaped the same way. So at least you'll have that kind of pre knowledge of what is underneath all of that, and it will help you to draw lines better if that's one of your goals. Because big cats, including lions, are one of those artist struggles. I think like the animals that are hard to draw. Another one that's really popular in that list would be horses. I probably even past lions, but lions and horses, those are like some of the hardest animals to draw. I mean, elephants too. They're not easy. So those are among the list of the animals that are really famous for being painful to draw or challenging. I don't want to say painful. Challenging would be a better word. But that's why too. Like I wanted to take on this project, and it was gonna be for a good cause, and also it was gonna help me to develop my skills and get a lot of practice in, and get a lot of experimenting in, which was something that I wanted to do to kind of improve myself and learn in that way. So practice by learning. Oops. One thing you want to do too is just make sure like your two sides are like in sync. And so many times, I don't know if it's just the way I draw or what, or the way my hand moves. Like one side will definitely be like a little off from the other side. So it's just the way that your hand moves. Like you'll have a side that you're probably better at either when you, especially when you're drawing like portraits and things like that, where it includes a face where there's symmetry on both sides. So you want to double check that symmetry and make sure that they're pretty much going in sync with each other and are aligned in that way. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. That was two 5-minute pulses. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so you can see them better. Okay, so let me save this and we're gonna keep moving on to our 5-minute pose. So starting now. Okay, let's go ahead. And that's a lot of hair. That's like, I don't know why I picked this image. That's a whole lot of hair. Or fur. I'm not sure if the mane is hair. That'd be a fun fact to figure out. Is the mane hair or fur? I believe it's, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I would assume that it's fur, but I'm not sure for sure. I'm not like for sure, for sure. So, like, what you want to do in the beginning, if you're interested in what I'm doing right now, is kind of keep it loose in the sense that you want to get like the basic shapes in line first. And I know I talk about this a lot with Figure Friday. If you've never seen Figure Friday before, I have 30 videos up, which are available now for you to see on the channel. And those are all life drawing sessions where I talk about drawing the proportion and getting your shapes and everything. So like it's one of the things I talk about a lot on Figure Friday, which I'll also explain now, is you want to keep it as basic as possible when you're first getting your sketch on paper. You don't want to start just drawing the face and just getting really detailed in the face and you have no rest of the body that you didn't even put on paper yet. So you want to keep the whole entire um, image on paper, or in this sense on your canvas, on your Photoshop canvas or iPad or whatever you're using, and then you start to fill in the details little by little. And I just started doing a blog on my website, which I haven't even. Well, actually, I just created a space to make my first blog on my website. It's up now on aliciadiane.com, but I don't have. But right now, it's just about the Cartoon Arts Center, which if you haven't, if you are in the Los Angeles area, I do workshops on meetup.com, and you can sign up to join me on there. But on the same page where I have my blog where I listed the meetup is also where I am beginning to put my very first writing blog, which I've never really done before on my website. So I'm really excited about that. I want to expand my website and hopefully find some other people who are doing the same. So if you have a blog and you are an artist that is sharing your content and talking about it in blog form, I would love to see it. So go ahead and share with me. And maybe we can share some ideas and some insights, maybe something that you learned, especially if you're into wildlife drawing and maybe what your process is like for that. So definitely share with me. Use a finer pencil now and kind of get a little bit of different. Let's see, I'm gonna change the color a little bit. Let's see. Now it's starting to get into some. This is like a much bigger portrait than the other ones that we worked on. So starting to get into some detail, which is good. That was quick. Oh man, instead of prepare, like probably getting too detailed in this. Okay, so that's just time. So we gotta move on. Unfortunately, this was pretty fun to get into. A lot more details though. It would take up a lot of time, a lot more time. But it's good to do this in your own time, even when you're just by yourself. If you want to get like a lot of practice in, um, just set up a timer with your phone. And if you have like a book or a magazine, just draw one image at a time and set it for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Like you can do that on your own. And it's once you like get in the habit of doing that, it's just gonna make your practice so much easier because it's hard. Like when you're not sure how to practice drawing and you want to get better, but you don't know like what a good daily practice is, just setting up a timer and getting yourself a good wildlife magazine or even like a fashion magazine and just sketching and timing yourself for your sketches. And that's going to help you so much. It's helped me like tremendously. Tremendously. So let me put on the timer again. We're going to do this. I don't know how I'm assuming that they edited the color, obviously, of this lion to make him appear to be ebony lion, but I like the pose, and it is a real photograph, even though we changed the color. So, let's draw 5 minutes. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay, so he strong pencil. So I'm gonna chunk out the shapes first. Chunk them out. Find the shapes. So I don't know. Um, let me see here. I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes when I'm drawing, I can't talk when I'm drawing. I'm like, That's why I'm starting to like pre-record some things because I like get so into it. I forgot. Oh yeah, I'm recording. You say something. I don't know if anyone else feels like sometimes, but I definitely am sometimes. Let me see. But pretty much I'm just breaking it down like as simplified as possible. Just want it to be nice and simple. It's got a really long tail. It goes all the way down here. Let me just start to add in some of these. I'm starting to get into some detail here. You can see like how it's coming along a little bit. It still is a ways to go, but it's starting to at least be able to be more recognizable as a figurative drawing instead of something that was more like a geometric abstract. You just start to add the detail really just simple and slowly. But I do wanna talk on here too. You can utilize this channel as a space to bring up some issues that I found in our community and an animation community. And if you're part of that, that's great. I was reading this article about an animator, and she's a woman of color, black woman, and she was talking about the lack of diversity within animation, and she mentioned that Women in Animation, which I'm part of, which is a great organization, and how they, their goal is to raise the number of women in animation from what is it now? It's like 20% of the workspace of the professional like leadership roles in animation. 20% are women, and there's about 60% of girls in art school studying animation. So like there's this huge drop in this inconsistency when it comes to getting hired in the animation industry, and it's like it really sucks that it's that way, but the whole goal of women in animation is to make it 50-50. But even within women in animation, the women who are in the animation field, there's only about I don't know what the actual numbers are, but there's even out of the 20% that are women, there's a huge jump down to the number that are women of color and women of minorities. So like that's one thing to keep in mind. I'll probably be talking about that a little bit later in its own sort of episode, but for now, I just hope that people are just starting to get aware of it, and if you are a woman or if you are a minority, like something that you might want to get involved with or find out more about yourself, or even if you're not, like you don't have to be a minority to support minority causes. So that's one thing just to be aware of. Like for me, it's like the whole reason why I think it's important is because the more diversity that we have of creators within animation fields, the more variety of people that will be able to tell their story. People are only going to tell their story. And if there's just only one type of person in the workplace, we're just going to see one type of story being told in theaters and on television and animation. And we want to see a lot more than that. I'd like to see like everybody represented in animated pictures and animated short films and television series. We want to see like more people being shown, and the only way that's going to really happen in a genuine and authentic way is if people of diverse cultures are represented in a position of power within the. Well, that's just a little a little bit of me talking about some important issues that I do want to actually bring up and get into more detail with right here on this channel. So let me go ahead and start our timer for this pose, which is going to be another 5-minute. So let's get going. Oops, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Okay, I'm okay. I thought I messed up my clock. It's okay. All right. This is cute. It's kind of cute. I'm sure this cub here is this lion's son because I hear that the males eat the cubs that aren't theirs. So this is a father and child moment, which is really cute. I don't know how they know. How do they know? There must be like a little built-in DNA test. I don't know. It must be like their scent or something. I would love to. I need to like get a. It's really hard to find books that are just about lions. I found a couple of different like different ones but that don't go into a whole incredible amount of detail. But I would like to know like stuff like little interesting facts like that. So maybe I can find some more. Maybe there's like blogs about that or something. I'm sure there are somewhere. But I would love to know a little bit more like how does the male lion know whether or not it's his cub? Mm-hmm. And the reason why they do like kill the cubs that aren't theirs is because the female goes, I don't know if you guys know this, but the female goes right back into heat if she loses a child. And I think it's so sad, but I mean, that's just the way it is. It's really sad but true thing that exists in nature. It's a weird phenomenon. I don't know how it all happens. How does her body become triggered? Maybe it's like the process of mourning, which is like super sad. Oh gosh, that triggers her. I don't know. It's so sad. Or maybe he's getting ready to eat this cub right now, and the cub just doesn't know it. I'm just kidding. Now he looks really, really being emotional and kind to this baby cub. So I don't think that's the case. It would just be ironic though. So like I make a bunch of changes. Like I'll draw something and then you might see that you put something in the wrong place. Just go ahead and just reposition it. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to get too far into what I can't see on actual image. I don't want to guess too much. But that's just where the practice comes in from. And I wouldn't have been able to know like where the neck goes if I hadn't been drawing lionesses before. But because I have, I know where that goes. I love the shape of the mane. It's like this weird like little haircut where they have like it goes along the cheekbones and they have a nice defined hairline. I don't know how it does that. It just it's really nice design. It's one of those beautiful designs of nature or that exist in nature, you could say. Oh, this is a really sweet image, I think. This is how I draw it, like do drawing practice all the time. Just find reference photos and just sketch from them. You can sketch with pencil, or you can sketch with pastel, watercolor, whatever you feel like, really. And you just oh, okay. See that? This is a really tiny image. Yeah, let's make this one a little bit bigger. Let's see. Can you make this bigger? And did you guys have lunch yet? I have not had lunch yet. Start to get hungry a little bit now. Starting to get a little bit hungry. I think I'll get some soon, right after this. Let's save this and let's start drawing again. I love the profile of lions. They have this really like cool shoebox kind of shaped head. I don't know. It is kind of it's like a rectangle. It's even if I was looking at their skulls and I did some skull practice around October time and I did some kind of like getting in the theme of like skeletons and like the whole Halloween season. So I did just some skulls, but I wanted to do lion skulls. So I did some lion skulls and they're on my Instagram. But it's so crazy. Maybe we'll do it on here too. Um, like the crazy way that the skulls are shaped. Did I put the timer on? I didn't put the timer. Okay, so I'm gonna do 4 minutes left. Okay, so like their skulls are really like these nice, interesting shapes, like super cool looking, and they're really fun. And look at the way the mouth. It's like the mouth is this way, but like the face is the skull is like that. It's so weird, and then the mouth is just hanging off, and like it's so cool the way that their heads are shaped. I don't know why I find it fascinating. Maybe I'm just a animal sketching nerd, but I just think it's so super cool. And I'm doing exactly what I told you guys not to do, which is starting to get into detail with the face before I add the rest of the body. So forgive me for that. What it does, like how that hurts you and how that's hurting me right now, is it messes up your proportion when you start. And now I can see like I messed up the proportion a little bit. So yeah, that's why you need to get the whole thing in the picture before you start doing detail. At least you learn from my mistakes. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes, and this is why I gave you guys the advice to not do that from the beginning. uh, I can't even tell you how many times I've messed up the proportion by um, putting detail in the face first and not getting the rest of the body in. I've messed up many times doing that. Happy Veterans Day to everyone. It is Veterans Day observance here in the United States, and I hope that you all are enjoying your day off. Everyone I know is pretty much off today, including my son, who is home today and having a fun time playing his favorite game, Roblox, on the computer. My favorite game is World of Warcraft, and I haven't gotten to play yet today or this week, because I've been doing a lot of drawing. I will take some time probably tomorrow night to play. If you play World of Warcraft, this is totally off topic, but if you do play World of Warcraft, um, and you're for the Horde, if you're not for the Alliance, then don't bother. Just kidding. If you are for the Horde, especially, um, let me know your realm, and maybe, hey, maybe we could play sometime. I like to play games when I have some free time. The problem is finding the free time. Usually Saturday night is my go-to time. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just gonna stay right here and play games. That's my favorite, preferred time, I guess, to play because I don't feel bad. I'm like, I've been working hard all week. I'm gonna take this Saturday night to play. Other times, like if I was starting out now, I would feel bad because I'm like, I should be drawing. Why am I playing? I should be drawing. I spent too much time when I was like, if you're like in art school right now, you should listen up. Like, I spent way too much time in art school, like playing video games when I could have been drawing. I mean, I did work a lot and I worked hard, but I could have worked way harder drawing, and I probably would have been way better by now. But I'm happy with where I'm at, and I have a lot more balanced um, time where I devote much more time to art than I do to games, which it was kind of like, at some points, like needing close to the same amount of time of devotion to games as it was to drawing. So I definitely want to have a much heavier percentage of your time devoted to drawing than to games. That's for sure. So, I mean, Okay, so there's that post. Not bad. Let's do another. What should we talk about here on this channel? I love having a YouTube channel. I really do. And I just Hope that you guys love it too, and I hope that you guys are getting something from it because I love being on here. I feel like really happy talking to you guys. So let's go to our next pose and we'll do another 5-minute pose. Okay, let's start it. So we're gonna draw this guy. And he's a cool looking fellow. He's a very cool looking fellow. I need to actually count how many lines I have out of 1,000 lines for Kenya. I did a count and I took like a roll call a few months ago over the summer, and I had like 400 and something leading on the heavier side of 400 lines, and I know I have a lot more now, and I need to do a recount. So that's going to be a whole other process. So I need to get up to date with how many lines I actually have out of 1,000 lines for Kenya. All of these drawings are going to be included in the book, which I'm expecting to be out next year. Book of illustrations, character designs, and sketches, realism sketches like the ones we're doing right now. So, oh yeah, let me show you guys what I'm, after this post, I'll show you guys that nutcracker one I'm working on right now. You're welcome. You're welcome. What can I say? So, you're welcome. Oof, that was bad. I don't want to call my drawings bad, but sometimes you make a mistake and it's like, ooh, that's bad. That doesn't look anything like real life. That's not real life. That's not what real life looks like. Oh, can't fool me. So you have to correct yourself. I mean, at least it's good if you know what the mistake is you made. And like you realize when you made an angle that was going in the wrong direction, stuff like that. As long as you can see it, there you are. You're getting on your way. You want to be able to see where you messed up. That way you can fix it. If you don't see where you messed up, you can't fix it. That's how I see it. So I don't mind if I see my mistakes. I'm actually much prefer I see my mistakes before someone else does and they say something. Oh, you messed up? Oh, oops. Let me fix that. I rather fix it while I'm drawing. Because after it's done, it's done. Like if you don't like it, then oh well. After my drawing is done, then my drawing is done. It is done forever. I don't like when that looks. There. Better? No. I don't like the way that looks. Something about can't like trying to find like the clarity here of where these paws are going. I think these are probably too close to the body is what I'm kind of reading. A little bit further away from the body. There. Like you see, like all of that stuff is like stuff that you'll like be able to see. And I'm not using a grid. I don't use grids ever. Because I think it's cheating. But you just want to be able to like really practice eyeballing stuff where you can see like where you are in your drawing compared to what the photograph or the reference is. Like where am I really? And really look at it clear because this leg here is not, this is the back leg that's coming over here, and this is actually the top leg, and I'm not getting a good read of it, but I gotta fix it so I can kind of see it a little better, kind of make it a little bit more readable here. because that's one thing that's really important with your drawings is like the readability of it. Yeah. And it's hard to see exactly how that leg gets there, but yeah. I'm gonna pencil this one in really quick. I don't like what's going on with his back feet up. I don't know what I did to destroy his legs, but I'm gonna get rid of them a little bit and kind of figure that out as I start to clean and make it a little bit more readable. I'm messing up somewhere. I have to fix this somehow. I have to kind of see. This paw is also too close. As I'm looking back and forth, this paw goes more so over here. That's better. And this leg is coming from here, so let me figure out where it's coming from. And try to figure out the anatomy of it so it's not wonky. If I understand the anatomy, I can get a better, trying to like envision how this leg is getting there. If I can see in my mind how it's getting there, then I can actually show that. So the leg is coming here. I have to kind of like problem solve a little bit more. Sorry. I just have to, a little bit at least, do some problem solving. I don't like to leave it confused. I mean, it's okay to leave it unfinished, but I don't want to leave it confused and then come back to it sometime later and it's just to destroy drawing because I have no idea where I was going with it. There, that's starting to make sense to me now. Hopefully it's making sense as a readable piece too. And some of it is, I think I'm getting it now. I think it's starting to make sense about where his leg is. Hopefully it's making sense to you too. This was a nice challenge to kind of overcome, and hopefully like it showed that you do have to kind of work at. I don't think that you should like really, I mean, sometimes a drawing is a bad drawing and you just need to like let it go and start over, but sometimes you're just like trying to like it overall is a good drawing and like maybe you're stuck on one part of it, like try and figure it out. I mean, sometimes it is like an awkward pose, like kind of where he is right now, this lion. It is a bit of an awkward pose. We can't really see what's going on as far as his profile of his body is going, but I kind of still had the hope because I knew that I could figure out if I just stuck with it a little bit longer. So if you kind of have to go with your own gut and kind of figure out, is this drawing worth it? Should I toss it and start over again? Definitely never like leave the drawing and just say like, oh, I can't do that. If you can't, if it's difficult and you don't think that you got off to the start, then I would recommend starting over. But if you feel like you've had a good strong start, but you just run into a problem, then stick with it until you figure it out. Even if you don't make it into a fully rendered drawing, you still want to get that problem solved. That way your mind doesn't leave like, oh man, like frustrated and defeated. You want to leave the drawing like defeating the drawing, the drawing to defeat you in a sense. You want to be able to defeat that drawing so that you are in control of the art that you're making. You don't want the art to like devour you and make you quit and give up. Like, just stick with it a few minutes longer sometimes, and the problems will solve themselves. And I think they kind of did for this one. I get it now. I think I've figured out what was happening with this, as far as his awkward posture that he was having there. And actually, I feel like this is now my favorite drawing that we've done so far. Because there was a problem, but I didn't give up. Stuck with it, figured it out, and now it makes sense to me. And I hope that you do the same with your art. And now I really like this drawing. I'm really happy with him now. And then Miranda singing starts singing. That's funny. Sometimes it's just worth it to stick with it a little bit longer. Sometimes it's just worth it. I'm gonna save it, and this is it. He looks pretty good. He came along pretty nicely. Definitely gonna do some more of these, and definitely be back with some more content. Let me show you guys what I did. That's one I'm working on for later. It's another one I'm working on for later, but this is the one I was telling you guys about. This is the Nutcracker, and it's the fight of the Nutcracker with the king of the rats, and he's like, and I'm actually excited to do this. And I just did the cleanup and the line and the color for the rat this morning, and I actually recorded that one, so I'll be able to post that one when I add some audio to it. I just did the recording of the actual painting, so that's really exciting. And then I'll be able to also share this one with you, which is going to be a Nutcracker, and I'm super excited about that. So stay tuned for that one coming up soon. And I hope that you guys enjoyed some wildlife drawing of lions with me today. And I will see you all next time. And because I just launched my 1,000 Lines for Kenya's prints on my website, aliciadiane.com. The link is in the below. I am going to give you guys also, if you want to get a print, a voucher for 10% off. It's going to be now through the rest of November, and the keyword is going to be lion. So thanks for joining with me with the lion prints, and you guys get 10% off of a print, and I hope that you guys come back, and thank you so much again, and I will see you next time. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.